Welcome. This is Aurora with Supercharged Math. Welcome to our class in percent. All right, grab your pencils because here we go. I have 120 M&Ms. 37 are green. Okay, what percent are green? Okay, so remember with our percentage, what we're going to do is we want to know how much the whole is, and that, just like fractions, that goes on the bottom. So the whole lot is 120. And then what goes on the top is how many we're talking about. So 37. So out of this whole group of M&Ms, I want to know how many of them are green. So all of them are green. If it was, it would just be 100%, right? But it's not. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a fraction out of this first, and then we'll get a fraction number. And what we'll do is we'll multiply that by 100 to turn it into a percent. Okay, so, well, actually, I shouldn't put multiplied by the 100%. We're just going to multiply it by the number 100, and then we're going to add the percent onto it. Okay, so let's do that. So because you have graduated from decimals, you may use your calculator. Please do bring it to class each and every time. So you're going to have 37. Do the math with me. When I'm punching stuff on a calculator, you're doing it too, just to practice to make sure you get the same answers I do. That way when you do your homework, you already know that, oh yeah, I know how she did that calculation. Okay, divided by 120. So don't just watch me. I want you to physically do this with me. You should get this crazy number. Multiply it by 100. I get 30.833. Now, can you round that to the nearest tenth for me? What do you get if you round that to the nearest tenth? What's the number? No, it's not 31. That's to the nearest whole number. Okay, here, let me write this number down so we can work with it. 30.8333. Okay, which one is the tenths place? Tenths place. That's this one. Okay, so what you do is you look. Remember, as this is just a quick review, you're going to find, okay, we're going to round to the tenth, so then I got to go one more. We say that's less, that's 4 or less, okay? So that means we do nothing and we just chop off the number like there, okay? If this was like an 8, that's 5 and above, we still chop this off, but then this gets bumped up to a 9, okay? So this is going to be 30.8%. So that's rounding to the nearest tenth. Good. So the other night, one of my kids made $6.50 doing chores. And I asked if they still had the $6.50, and he said, no, actually, I spent $3.45. So my question is, what percent did my kids spend of their income? So this income was $6.50. They spent this amount. So what percent did they spend? So what's the whole amount? What's the amount of money they had in their wallet? Was it this or was it that? Yeah, so we're looking for percentage, not, some people are already telling me how much they have left. I don't care about that right now. What I'm asking is so don't, actually I'm glad that came up. So it's really tempting when you see numbers just to start calculating. But often what happens is you calculate the wrong thing and you have to do twice as much work. So I would say pause, even though your brain's like, whoa, wait, numbers, I know what to do with them. Add, multiply, subtract, right? Don't do it. Read the whole thing and make sure you understand what is being asked. And so it's really, how do I put this? So it's unfortunate that this happens in fractions and decimals because we give you a format and you get used to it, right? Here's two numbers, we want you to add them. Here's two numbers, I want you to subtract them. When we get to percent, we're setting you up for success for algebra, because when you get to algebra, you really have to read the problems because you have no idea what they're going to be asking. So percent, we're going to have to start doing that. So take a look at this. What am I asking? There's a lot of numbers here. Right? Well, there's two numbers. And I want to know what percent did they spend. So you're going to have, there's no cookie cutter recipe for these. You have to interpret it and put it in a way that makes sense. So what's the whole amount you had in your wallet? $6.50. Get a new Sharpie here. Okay. Had $6.50. Okay. Now, how much did I spend? Did I spend $6.50? I spent $3.45. Okay. Now, if I just do this calculation, will I get the right answer? No, I will not. Because if you look, this is about 6, this is about 3. So you can already tell 3 is about half of 6. So I'm looking for a number that's about a half, or about 50%. If I just do this division problem, I'm not going to get 50%. I'm going to get a decimal number. So let's say we forgot to multiply by 100. Okay, we're just going to do that. We're going to say 3.45. So take out your calculators, 3.45 divided by 6.5. Okay, I have 0.53. So I can write this down. So what is that? Is that the amount of money that I have left in my pocket? No. So this is where we have to really interpret what we're doing here. So I had this amount. This is this is a fraction. This is a decimal. This is the fraction. This is the decimal. Okay, and we have to multiply it by 100 to find that we spent 53% of our money on chores. Okay. So we're going to be using a lot of things we've learned so far. We've got decimals here. We've got fractions. We got decimals in a fraction. That's kind of new. Okay, and then we get a decimal, but then we have to know to multiply by 100 because we're talking about percent. All right, now if you're like, whoa, 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 how did you know how to do all this? Okay, it's kind of like the first time you ride a bike. Do you remember that? I do. I got a lot of Band-Aids after I tried that. So you have to steer, you have to pedal, right? Because if you don't pedal, you're not going anywhere. But the faster you pedal, the faster you go. And you have to steer to make sure you don't smack into like the old lady on the sidewalk, right? So there's a lot of moving parts. And the only way you get better at this is by doing it again and again and again. All right, if you have any questions that didn't get answered, let me know, or at superchargedscience.com. I will see you in class. Bye-bye, everybody.